A few months ago, I was watching some YouTube videos and something appeared out of nowhere that somewhat caught my interest. It was a gameplay of a thing that looked similar to Resident Evil. The difference was that the main character was a very curvy and athletic woman with a very sexy outfit. The Killing Antidote is a work in progress, a game that uses the sex appeal of its female lead to divert your gaze towards its content and gameplay. That can actually turn out to be very decent at the end if you are not too picky about it. This is a TPS game that revolves around shooting and fighting zombies while also looking as cool as you want to be, or as sexy as you want to be, focusing a lot in that last aspect and offering a lot of custom clothing items for you to collect. There are also some puzzles involved, some clever and some overcomplicated. We are in front of a very generic title that lacks both in concept and design, but a game that is trying to create something good and memorable, at least in some aspects. In the future, a special germ causes humans to be constantly infected and mutated. The protagonist, Jodie, is a brave journalist who goes to find the legendary antidote and is in danger. That's the description of the game in Steam. And it doesn't say much, in fact, it states a lot of cliché things. But even some Resident Evil titles can be described that way. The first thing you notice while playing is, well, Jodie. That is a very detailed and pleasant to look at character. And you can say the same about the weapons and enemies. All of them have decent animations and concepts, but yes, some of the animations still need a little bit of work, like the jumping for example, but that can be fixed down the line. Something that probably isn't going to change much or addressed in a proper way is the fact that the entire game feels like a bunch of cool looking 3D assets and textures mixed together. The game lacks identity and concept. The environments look bland and generic, and the same can be said about Jodie, who is a pretty looking girl with no distinguishing emotional features whatsoever besides her looks and the clothes we put on her. Yes, I know it's kind of early to be saying those things, but it is the current state of the game, or at least what we can see and experience right now. Metal Star, the Korean developer of the title, has a Patreon in which they keep the fans updated about the development progress and also give away some custom clothing items to use in the game. The playtest has actually a lot of content for a playtest. You can play in one big area that presumably comprehends one chapter of the title and also participate in a lot of timed and horde challenges to get items, clothing and weapons that you can use in the main story mode. It is in these modes that you can actually see a little bit of intention and concept, especially in the Halloween themed one. But there's still a lot of work to do to make it different and memorable. Using a hypersexualized character to sell your game is a very good way to reach more players and create a fanbase revolving a specific niche. But that doesn't mean that you can get out with offering a mediocre title filled with basic mechanics and lackluster content. You need to work hard for that, because creating a sexy character is easy, but creating a cohesive world that can function without that specific character is something else entirely. Remember that looks aren't everything and that you need to work on how to differentiate the gameplay and mechanics to create something unique and not a clone of a clone of a clone with no essence and no concept. If you are like me and do enjoy seeing sexy characters in the video games you play, give the Killing Antidote a try. It's a work in progress that can offer some fun, but at the end of the day, if the game turns out to be a glorified dress-up simulator with some action mixed in between the lines, I'm going to try it, yes, but I'm not gonna recommend to play it or give it a decent score, if we go down the rating hole. One thing is certain, The Killing Antidote is a pleasant game to look at, but not for too long, at least in its current state. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Please remember to subscribe, give a like, and leave a comment. See you around.